For 3 years, I'd been grinding as a graphic designer at a boutique marketing agency, pouring my heart into every pixel, every campaign. The job wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills, and I loved the creative rush until Diana, the new creative director, walked in. She was a whirlwind of charisma, all sharp suits and sharper words, hired to shake things up. But beneath her polished exterior was a hunger for control that turned my dream job into a battlefield. Diana swept into the agency like she owned it, her first meeting a masterclass in self-aggrandizement. She bragged about her past at a big-name firm, dismissing our work as cute but amateur. I'd been with the agency since its scrappy startup days, building its reputation with late nights and award-winning designs. Yet, Diana treated me and the rest of the team like interns who'd wandered in off the street. My portfolio, which had landed us major clients, was suddenly outdated. She insisted on approving every design, micromanaging details down to font sizes, often scrapping my work for her own heavy-handed edits that clients hated. Feedback sessions became her stage, where she'd publicly critique my lack of vision, while stealing my ideas and presenting them as hers. The real trouble started when I pitched a campaign for a major clienta eco-friendly startup needing a bold rebrand. I spent weeks crafting a vibrant, sustainable aesthetic, complete with mock-ups and a social media strategy. The client loved it in our initial meeting, raving about the fresh energy. But Diana swooped in, claiming she'd guided my work. She presented it to the client's board as her own, barely mentioning me. When I confronted her privately, she smirked, saying, "This is a team effort, Claire. Don't be so territorial." I swallowed my anger, but the client's praise kept me going until Diana's next move. She announced a new policy. All designs had to pass her creative review board, just her and her assistant, a nervous yes-man named Greg. Every submission came back with vague notes like not bold enough or lacking sophistication, forcing me to rework projects for weeks while she took credit. My workload doubled, but my name vanished from client presentations. Worse, Diana started docking my hours, claiming my inefficiency was costing the agency. I was salaried, so this was a blatant lie to justify cutting my pay. When I raised it with HR, they shrugged, saying Diana had the CEO's ear. The CEO, a distant figure who rarely visited, was charmed by Diana's slick reports and didn't question her. The breaking point came when the eco-startup client requested a follow-up campaign. I poured my soul into it, staying up nights to perfect the visuals. Diana rejected it outright, demanding I use her template, a garish, outdated design that screamed early 2000s. The client was furious, threatening to pull their contract. Diana blamed me, telling the team I'd dropped the ball. Humiliated, I overheard her telling Greg she'd used the client's complaint to push me out and hire her friend from her old firm. That was it. I wasn't going to let her sabotage my career. I started documenting everything. Every email, every revision note, every stolen idea. I saved it all in a cloud folder. I also kept a log of her reviews, noting how her changes tanked client feedback. When the eco-startup sent a formal complaint about the botched campaign, I saw my chance. I reached out to the client's marketing lead, someone I'd bonded with during the initial pitch. Under the guise of clarifying their needs, I shared my original designs and the timeline of Diana's interference, carefully worded to avoid breaking protocol. The client was livid, realizing they'd been misled about who was driving the project. Armed with this, I requested a meeting with the CEO, Diana, and the client. Diana tried to dominate, spinning her usual tale of my incompetence. But I was ready. I presented my documentation, emails showing I'd submitted the original designs on time, Diana's rejection notes, and the client's glowing feedback before her meddling. The client's rep backed me up, confirming they'd loved my work and were frustrated by Diana's changes. The CEO's face darkened as he realized Diana's leadership was costing him a key account. Diana stammered, claiming it was a misunderstanding, but the evidence was ironclad. The fallout was glorious. The CEO sidelined Diana, putting her on probation and assigning me to lead the eco-startup's campaign directly. The client renewed their contract, praising my integrity and vision. Diana's friend never got hired, and whispers spread that she was looking for an exit. I heard she'd badmouthed me to colleagues, but the team, fed up with her tyranny, started sharing their own stories of her overreach. The agency's morale shifted, and I was approached by two coworkers about starting a side project, a freelance collective to pitch directly to clients. Months later, Diana left to pursue other opportunities. The CEO, now wary of flashy hires, promoted an internal manager who valued collaboration. My campaign won an industry award, and the eco-startup became our biggest client. I still keep that folder of evidence, a reminder that standing up to a power-hungry boss takes strategy, not just courage. The office buzzes with debates about Diana's reign. Some call me a hero, others say I played dirty. But when I see my designs on billboards, I know I fought for what was mine, and that's a victory worth arguing over.